The other issue that I want to just touch on briefly is domestic violence or control. Some people are in situations with their spouse where this guy is super controlling, and whether he hits you or not isn't the definitive factor, because not everybody in a domestic violence situation is being hit. Some people just have super controlling husbands. I had a client some time ago who didn't really think too much about it, and she didn't really think there was domestic violence, but then she happened to mention that every time she takes her shower, her husband sits in the bathroom to monitor her, and then he weighs her when she gets out of the shower because he wants to make sure she doesn't gain any weight. And she didn't think she was in a bad situation necessarily because she had become so used to it. So I'm not saying that you're in that situation, but if you should kind of take a look and look around and see what are some types of control, or he won't let me see the financial records, or he won't let me go out with my friends. I'm not saying that that's your situation, but you want to come up with what's called a safety plan. And you want to work with someone who's a specialist in domestic violence or in divorce of controlling men to give you a safety plan, because sometimes if you're in that situation, you can go through all the stuff we talked about. You can get a list of your finances, you can get a list of your credit cards, you can figure out what you think is best for your children, but then it's so scary to take the next step and actually file for the divorce because you think he's going to completely freak out, empty out the bank accounts, cut you off from money, take the kids away from you, and that sometimes actually does happen. It usually gets all settled out over the course of the next couple of months. But you want to make sure, if you're in a situation where you think your husband could react like that, that you have some money, stashed away in a safe place at a girlfriend's house or something. Might be a good idea to go out and get a credit card for yourself so that you've got some resources or a cushion, so that after you file for divorce, if he says, I'm not putting any money in the bank account, that you can feed yourself and the kids. I know this all sounds scary, but you got to think about it. So think about your financial safety, think about your safety, your physical safety, think about your children's safety. And if you're in that situation, most counties and courthouses have somebody who knows something about domestic violence who can help you so that you know how to get out of a situation like that. Because those aren't a situation that you want to just walk out one afternoon and say, I'm leaving. Those are things that you kind of want to plan for if you're safe. If you're not safe, you've got to get out. But if you're basically safe, you're just in a bad, crappy situation, you have some time to plan. You need to really be thoughtful about this and get help from people who understand how to work with women who've gotten themselves in these situations. So lastly, I want to talk a little bit about timing of filing for divorce and what that means. And sometimes there's various waiting periods, and I can't talk to you about your state, but some states require you to be separated for a long period of time before you can enter your divorce, or even sometimes before you can even file for your divorce. So you've got to figure out the divorce procedure in your state. There are questions about timing. There are questions about what happens in the temporary period between when you file and when you get divorced. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff about how you're going to divide up your assets. So we've covered finance, assets, debts, your budget, your parenting situation, cleaning up your online reputation, possibility of having a parenting evaluation and how you have to be prepared for that. What do you do if you're in a situation of strong control or domestic violence? So those are all things you want to do if you're the one who's going to get ready to file for divorce, and you can kind of take all this information, talk to your team, and make a decision about what should be your next step and what the timing should be for your situation. So hopefully that's been helpful.